Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I'm talking to you about 13 affirmations that you can use to keep you mentally strong. Affirmations are helpful, and you have to find the ones that work for you. Everybody's a little bit different, so the more that we can talk about these and offer them, the more you will find what works for you. And the reason that we want to use positive affirmations to help us stay mentally strong is that we do talk to ourselves all day, every day. And often the kind of talk that's going on in our minds is not the kind of talk that helps us with our daily struggles or with our tendency towards anxious thinking. Those of us who lean more toward the worry type, we need to be consciously aware of our self-talk because it can go off the rails if we don't pay attention to what we are saying to ourselves. And not only to hear it and be angry with ourselves for thinking these things or talking to ourselves in such a negative manner, but to actually have a little bit of compassion for ourselves for being in a situation that would bring us to have these thoughts coming through so much that we are paying attention to them. We all have thoughts that come by and pass through like clouds across the mountain, but when we are anxious or we are overwhelmed, we can often feel like it's a storm cloud that is stuck right on that mountain, and it's never going to move, and all we're going to have are these negative thoughts. So if you catch yourself in that situation, it's a perfect time to bring up some of these positive affirmations to help you to push that cloud along. It will go. It's always going to move eventually. But if you can fill yourself with more positive affirmations, there'll be a little less room for the negative chatter to be so loud. And you know, the older that we are, and I'm speaking for myself here, the more time we have invested already in this unhelpful negative inner talk. And the more habitual it may have become, so much so that we may not even be noticing it. It's kind of just on automatic pilot or like an old endless loop in the back of our mind going over and over again, certain negative comments that we have said to ourselves. We all have our own flavor of negativity and our own flavor of how we will talk to ourselves, but we can change that. And that's the wonderful thing when you catch it. Just know, oh, that's interesting. That's negative talk about myself to myself. That's something I can remedy. That's something that you can take care of. And a good way to think about it is I want you to think about talking to yourself the same way that you might talk to a friend or a relative or someone little. It's always nice because we're usually very compassionate to the little ones when they are struggling or having a problem. Think of a little one or your own little inner self, your own little inner child coming to you with this struggle. And how would you talk to them? Or if they were saying negative things about themselves, how would you talk to them? How would you guide them out of that situation or that bad habit? Because how we think about our anxiety or our problems really affects our ability to persevere through life and to get out of difficult situations and to push through situations that don't look like they have an end. We haven't seen the light at the end of the tunnel for them yet. How we think about these problems and our anxiety itself is going to affect how we can persevere and how we can move out of the anxiety cycle can take some time. So you may not yet see the light at the end of the tunnel. I remember those days. I remember not knowing that there was any other way that my mind and body could be being in my life. And so I thank God every day that I had the ability to persevere, to push through. And I hope that you will also. And I believe that the affirmations that I'm going to talk about today will help you to keep mentally strong and keep you going. By using conscious, positive self-talk, or affirmations, if you will, we can allow less space for the negative habitual thoughts to take root in us for that day, to get stuck. The more that we fill our day with ease and breeze, the more the clouds will pass by us, just like the clouds passing by the mountain. We can do some of this work ourselves. Now, obviously, things are going to be tough. Things are going to feel dark sometimes. We all lose hope here and there. But just to know that when you are doing unconscious, habitual, negative thinking, when you catch it, remind yourself, I don't have to think this way. I actually can look at myself in a different light. So giving yourself positive affirmations alone is not going to necessarily change your life immediately. I get that, and I know you get that. But healthy self-talk will help you to feel better and inspire you to behave more confidently and calmly, which is the key to getting through tough times. So there's no time like the present to change how you talk to yourself. So let's get right to that. Before I get to those 13 affirmations, I want to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So many times we can get stuck, just like we're talking about today, get stuck in a problem. It seems like it is on autopilot. We can't begin to see the solutions. I have had this happen to myself. We want to make progress, but we can't see the forest for the trees, so to speak. So this is a perfect time where you can learn to have better problem solving. And you can do that by training your brain. And how can you do that? You can do that with a therapist. You can do that through BetterHelp. It can be tough to train the brain to stay in the problem-solving mode, but when you find your own solutions, it feels awesome. Like I said, you can do this with a therapist, and they will help you become a better problem solver, and you can accomplish your goals no matter how big or small. I know that talking to a therapist has helped me in the past to feel less stressed because I could actually unload what was going on in the hamster wheel of my mind. It helped me to feel more confident, and I'm telling you, this will help you with your anxiety and depression. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and you can switch therapists anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/ACP today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/ACP. Now on to our 13 affirmations to help keep you mentally strong. The first one that I have that you could say to yourself is, I handled a difficult situation this week, and I feel good about handling the whole thing. This is one where I want you to realize that you have done something for yourself. You have done a good job somewhere in the past 7 days. You'd handled a situation, and I want you to recall it. Give yourself that pat on the back and remind yourself you feel good about the whole thing. The second one is, I am stronger today than I was yesterday. I am stronger today than I was yesterday. This is a great one to keep in mind because we are different every day, and we are stronger because we got through another day. And if you're struggling with anxiety, you got through another tough day. And I know I'm proud of you, so I want you to remember that you're stronger today than you were yesterday. The third one is, I have a new sense of security within me. I have a new sense of security within me. Really take the moment to look inside and see that little sense of security that you do have in there that you may not have noticed in the past. The fourth one is, I believe deep inside I am okay. I believe deep inside I am okay. Really think about that when you say it. Really take a moment to look deep inside, because I know that deep inside you're okay. Especially those of you listening right here at this moment, everything's okay. Everything can be handled, and it can be handled when it needs to be taken care of. So look inside and remember that you are okay. Number 5, my thoughts and beliefs help me to cope with stress and overcome adversity in my life. My thoughts and beliefs help me to cope with stress and overcome adversity in my life. So take the time when you say this to yourself to really think about it and see, how are your thoughts and beliefs helping you to cope with your stress? They are. You're changing every day. You may not be perfect yet. Well, I'm not perfect yet either, so we're all in a good same boat there. But our thoughts and beliefs, even if it's just one little thing that we've changed, has helped you to cope with the stress and overcome adversity in your life. So remind yourself of that. Number 6, I have the strength, courage, and determination to face an uncertain future. This is a big one. I'm going to say it again. I have the strength, courage, and determination to face an uncertain future. You do have the strength, courage, and determination because you are here today. You may think you want more and better out of yourself, but you will get more and better, and you will get more and better when you can stop being hard on yourself and start acknowledging that you have things such as strength and courage and determination. And the ending part of it, to face uncertain future, is really important because there is so much uncertainty in the future, not just for you, but for all of us. And the interesting thing is, there always has been a lot of uncertainty about the future. Sometimes life feels calm, or we're in a happy decade or a prosperous decade, whatever. But life is longer than a decade, and there are many things that you will see come around over and over again. And they are issues and problems that come up and they get resolved. And the future for all of us is uncertain. But one thing I know is that when you are faced with a difficulty right in front of you, that you do have the strength, courage, and determination to face it, so you can also face this uncertain future. Number 7, I am confident I'll eventually find a solution to every problem I face, even though I may not see the solutions right now. I am confident I'll eventually find a solution to every problem I face, even though I may not see the solutions right now. This is a great reminder to yourself that you have found solutions in the past and you will find solutions in the future. You may not see it right now, but do what you can with what you have and then let go. You cannot go beyond and do anything more than what's possible. Once you have done that, worrying, getting anxious, ruminating doesn't help. You will find the solution in time. And in time means one step at a time. You can't see everything right now. But have the faith. I guess faith is a good word. The faith to know that you will find solutions, even though you don't see them right now. Number 8, I've been knocked down before and can get back up again. I've been knocked down before and can get back up again. Absolutely. We are all those little weebles. We wobble and we get pushed down and we pop back up again until we don't. And then there is nothing more. So don't worry about the difficulty being too much for you. You will get knocked down. I will get knocked down. And we have gotten knocked down in the past and we will get back up again. That's all we have to do. Get back up again and then take another step. Number 9, I can handle feeling uncomfortable. I can handle feeling uncomfortable. This is a short one that you may need to say to yourself over and over again. It may move from being an affirmation that you say to yourself when you're writing in your journal to one that you say every day, many times a day, because uncomfortable feelings come up. And I want you to remind yourself when they do come that you can handle feeling uncomfortable. Number 10, I am stronger than I think. I am stronger than I think. Well, this one speaks for itself, but when I look back over my life and I see how difficult some of my anxious days were and how I thought I was not strong, when I look back, I was wicked strong. So I want you to remember you are stronger than you think. You will see it in time. Number 11, all I can do is my best. All I can do is my best. This one is my attempt for you to remember that you can do what you can do and then you can leave the rest. You are not responsible for all of the world. Or as I used to say, I'm not really responsible for the price of tea in China. I had so much responsibility on me. That's how I felt like I was responsible for everything. Nope, and you are not either. All you can do is your best. Number 12, bumps in the road are just part of the journey. Bumps in the road are just part of the journey. You know this one if you've been listening to the show for a while. Bumps in the road come. It's part of life and it's part of our journey. So expect them and don't be surprised by them. And remember all of these other affirmations that I just said. They will help you get over those bumps. And finally, number 13, I got this. I got this. I want you to look in the mirror and say to yourself, I got this. Or even use your name. Like if I'm looking in the mirror, Gina, you got this. It really is true. You got this. Remember, you have gone through many challenges already, and you will face more, so will I. By practicing positive affirmations regularly, you will be reminded of all your successes and gain more confidence to deal with the difficulties that may arise in the future. I hope you have found some hope and actionable steps that you can take, no matter how small, from listening to today's show. I hope this episode has been helpful and that you will share the show with someone that may need just a little more peace and calm in their own life. We never really know who is suffering in silence. Before I read today's quote, I was wondering if you prefer the show without ads, or perhaps you might like to have access to the entire back catalog of over 600 episodes. Maybe you'd like some bonus meditation episodes. All of that and more are available for $5 a month with our premium Supercast membership. Go to anxietycoaches.supercast.com and join us ad-free today. The link will be in the show notes. And now for today's quote. Nourishing yourself in a way that helps you blossom in the direction you want to go is attainable, and you are worth the effort. And that's from Deborah Day. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.